welcome back and welcome to those that this is their first time. We got a lot of fun stuff in store for today. I want to kind of recap and talk to you a little bit about what we have done up to this point, because you don't realize it, but we've done a lot, haven't we? Remember the first and second time we talked a lot, we set the foundation, and we talked a lot about why do we use financial institutions, banks, credit unions, how we know our money might be safe there, different kinds of accounts. Then we got into, well, okay, what do we do with our own money to manage it well? Because this is all about giving you information and teaching some skills so that you can manage your money for your future, okay? Last time we ended with the bean game, right? Anybody want to talk about what that bean game was about for those who weren't here? Anybody? Yes.
Okay, so we were choosing what to spend our beans on, and we figured out that how you save or how you spend depends on what your goal in life is. Like Sonia's group, they spend it all on entertainment because their goal in life was to have fun.
Have fun, that's right, yeah. So,
But we had the bare minimum.
but you guys chose to do roof over your head, right?
Yeah, and insurance.
And insurance to make sure if something happened to the roof, you had it covered, right? So the idea behind that, those beans represented your money, right? And the idea about that is to kind of tie in what your choices and your goals, you hit it right on the head, how those impact how you spend your beans or your money, right? All right, we're going to take it another step further here today, but before we do that, what I want to talk to you about is, when you make money, when you have a job, right, and you make money, say maybe you make $10 an hour and you work 40 hours a week, right? So that's $400 a week. That's what your paycheck should be, right? $10 times 40 hours is $400. Okay. Is that what you could cash your check for? $400? No. What are we forgetting about? Go ahead. Taxes, absolutely. And there are some other kind of deductions as well. But so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So your employer, they must subtract a certain taxes from your paycheck, all right? And so what we're talking about is gross income minus your deductions and something called net income. So your gross income, that was going to be however you make an hour, however much you make an hour, plus times the hours that you work, that's your gross income. The deductions. So let's talk a little bit about those deductions, because we've got taxes and something else as well. So that's something else. We've got federal taxes, federal income taxes. We've got Social Security, Medicare, so it's called FICA. You might see that on a paycheck. There's a deduction for that. You might have a state income tax or a city or county income tax as well. And those are more governed by the laws. They're statutory type deductions. But there are other kind of deductions too that might occur on your paycheck, and those are voluntary deductions. You've instructed your employer to hold some money back. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? What are some voluntary deductions that might happen on a paycheck? Anybody have any ideas? Sure.
Pension?
Perfect, yeah. So it would be for retirement. So a 401k or a 403 deduction, you're allowing that employer to withhold money on your behalf, and it's going to get invested somewhere for your retirement. You might hear it as 401k, 403b. Okay. Any other deductions you could think of that are more voluntary? Yeah.
Healthcare?
Yes, that's the big one. health care. If you work for an employer who asks you to pay for or contribute towards your health care benefits, that's another deduction that you may see. So wait, what happened to my $400? That's how much I should get. No, you're not going to get $400. In fact, it'll be less than that. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how much less in the state. When we're talking about trying to figure out how you're managing your money and your budget, we're talking about income and expenses. Back here, we were talking about income. Now, when you are looking at an income, you want to use what? You want to use your net income or gross income. If you're trying to set up a budget for yourself, do you want to use what you're really getting in your pocket or how much you make? How much you're really getting, the stuff that's it. So that's net income. So whenever you're trying to establish a budget for yourself, you always want to use your net income. Okay. By the way, when you're looking at setting up a budget, please include all income. I know some folks, when they're setting up their budget, they may have two jobs. One primary job and then one, on the side. Maybe it's babysitting, working part-time, whatever it is. If you're in a situation where you have more than one job, please combine that income so that you can include that in your plan. So you always want to use all your income that's coming in, okay? The other side of a budget, and that's what we're talking about today, a budget is just income and obligation and balancing the two. Income, we talked about using net and why that would be different from gross, right? So the expense side, that's usually a little more challenging to figure out when you're looking at a budget. So an expense is everything that you pay for in a particular time period. We're going to talk about monthly budgets, okay? So there are really two types of expenses. One is a fixed expense. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, but let's go back, okay? A fixed expense, an expense that no matter what you do, you pay the same amount, in our case, every month. It's a fixed expense. No matter what you do, you're going to pay the same amount every month. Can anybody give me an idea of what an example would be of a fixed expense? Sure.
Like a prepaid cell phone bill?
Maybe a prepaid cell phone.
Rent.
Rent's a big one.
Mortgage?
Mortgage, absolutely, yeah.
Car note?
Car note, if you have an installment loan, we talked about that as well, where you borrow X number of dollars and pay it back every month, the same amount, an installment loan, that would also be fixed. Perfect. Now there is another kind of expense, and that's a flexible expense, and that does depend on your behavior. What's a big variable expense that you might have? Flexible. Food, that's the biggest one, isn't it? Depending on how much you dine out or if you buy steak versus hot dogs, right? It's going to be a different amount that you're spending. Yeah. Car insurance, sort of, kind of, because usually with car insurance, you have a set amount that you're paying. It may not be every month, but there is a set amount. I'm glad you said that though, because with that car insurance, sometimes this flexible is broken down even further to what's called periodic expenses. You guys might have heard me talk about that before. Periodic expense is an expense that you incur every month, but it's not due every month. So car insurance is a big one because a lot of times people only pay that every 3 months. So even though you don't have to pay it every month, you should be setting aside money to pay it in the 3 months. Yeah.
Like what I heard is like car insurance, it depends on like whether or not you got into an accident and it gets higher into that.
Yeah, you're right, because your car insurance can go up if you get a ticket for speeding or something, or if you get in an accident or make a lot of claims, that insurance could go all over the place. Yeah. Clothing is a big one, isn't it? Because it's really up to you on how much you're spending and where you spend it. Yeah.
I have a question about fixed
Okay.
expenses. So say you bought a table. You're not really going to pay for it again. You just buy it that one time. What is that? Is it just an expense?
Yeah, it would be like discretionary spending. So because you're not paying for it recurring every month, in our case, every month, you've already purchased it. So it doesn't have any other costs associated with it. So when you bought that table, you don't need to budget next month and the month after and the month after to pay for it because it's already paid. Taking it a step further, where should that money have come from? Your income and your savings. I heard someone say that, so that you're not having to. Paying cash is always good. Everyone accepts cash, except the Apple stores. Do you guys know that? If you walk into an Apple store, you have to pay by some kind of like card of some sort. They don't even take cash. Yeah. You were going to say something?
Say clothing.
Clothing, yeah, that's a big one. All right, so the whole idea here is that we've got net income and now we're trying to balance against it our expenses. And we understand that some expenses are the same every month and some will change based on our behavior. Whether there's a big sale at JCPenney or wherever you shop, I don't even know. Okay. So, again, the fixed expenses, you guys told me that it's car payment and rent. That would probably be the best examples. For flexible expenses, that would be like electricity too. You know, if you have all your lights on all the time, that's going to cost more than if you only have one or two lights on when you're in the house. Okay? Clothing or entertainment is another flexible expense. So if you have more expenses going out than you have income, it's called a deficit. It means that in order to, remember the goal is to balance, you either have to increase your income or decrease your expenses. Because if you have more obligated to go out of your budget than is coming in, what will happen? Debt. And sometimes what happens, if folks have run out of the debt, the ability to borrow, what would happen is then they would start letting bills go and they won't pay some, and then they start getting into late fees and that kind of, which again, now we're talking about it's costing you more money. It's really worth it to make that plan. Yeah.
Does waiting involve the IRS too?
Well, that's for your taxes. Yeah, if you wait to pay your taxes till you can, if you're strapped like that and you don't contact them, there's some severe penalties that go on with not paying your taxes, right? It's not something you want to do. All right. So if you're trying to balance this budget, you can, and you've got more going out, you can look to see how you can decrease your spending so that you have some more money left to either balance it, or if you have more money left, what else could you do?
Save it.
Save it? What else? Invest it? Exactly. Yeah, because we want to grow our money as much as we possibly can. What about ways, what are some ways to increase income? Yeah.
If you didn't go to school, then go to school and get a degree.
So that you can make more money. Other ways, yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
No, I was right.
Oh, okay.
Part-time jobs.
Yeah, part-time, couple more jobs. Pick up get money on the side, right? Hey, by the way, for you guys, how could you decrease spending? What can you do to decrease spending? Yeah.
Limit your material items.
Limit your,
Material items, like stop going out to eat and eat in. And don't spend all your money on like CDs or something if you can spend it on like food.
okay. So did you guys hear that? Because she said some really good things. So you would decrease your spending on dining out. Maybe you don't dine out as much. You spend that more at the grocery store. What else did you say?
Like don't spend your money on like fun stuff if you're not getting the essentials first.
Yeah, get the essentials first. Fun stuff like CDs and that, you would maybe pull back on that if you're spending more. I saw other hands. Yeah, you. Okay, either one of you.
Basically, don't spend it on like really expensive brand names and try to buy like lower, like just normal things instead.
Awesome. Be a good consumer. Compare prices. See what is the value here. Do I really want to pay for that name brand, or would this other product do the job for me just as well? Because it is about choices, right? Yeah.
You could make goals to actually make sure that you actually do this on time and invest this much, buy this much, and have a budget for it.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. You could think about it. You could think, instead of just, hey, I've got 20 bucks, I'm going to go spend it, you can really just think about, well, how do I want to spend this money? Maybe I'm going to save half of it or whatever you decide, right? That's good.
Again, with the goals, like if you set goals, it's much easier to save money because like when you go to buy something, you always think first.
Think
Like,
first.
Can I save this for that instead?
Yeah. Think first, spend later. Yeah.
You can recycle.
You can recycle and get the dime for a can, right?
And also, like, I was cleaning my room the other day and I'm finding all these things that I thought I didn't have and would have to go out and buy, but I actually have them and they were just sitting there and
Just collecting some dust. It's true. You know what? Can I just on the side let you know that we do that, adults, a lot of us do that with food. We have like this pantry and we've got tomato sauce and tuna and noodles and all of this stuff, and yet here we go off to the store and what do you think we're buying? Because we're going to have spaghetti, so we're going to get the noodles and the tomato, even though we've got it at home. So one of the things that I talk to adults about when we're trying to get a handle on how much it costs to be us is to go shopping in your own cupboard first. Before you go out to the store, whether it is food that you're looking at, or maybe it's even the clothing. Do you have something in there? Do you have a pair of those brown shoes already? So, yeah. Anybody else? Other ways? I think you got it. I think you all understand that the choices you make definitely impact how much you spend, and you have a lot of great ideas on how to pull that back. We also talked about ways to increase the income, some extra jobs, maybe going to school to make sure you are making more money, right? Asking for a raise at work, those kind of things. Wonderful. Again, the whole idea with trying to plan, with working a budget, is to balance income and expenses, all right? By the way, what about saving? How does saving come into this, you think? What if, remember, because we talked about pay yourself first and how important it is to save, right? What about if in your expenditures, you had an expense called savings, and you would pay it like you would a bill every month, or every week if you were paid every week? Honestly, that is the easiest way to do it, is just, okay, you know what, this is just as important as my rent. I'm going to save some money. I'm going to put some money aside. I'm going to talk about that whole idea of saving a little later. Probably not today, but maybe. All right, so again, the whole idea is to balance, 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 balance. Now, last time we did the bean game where you had, I think, 20 beans, right? And you chose how you were going to spend those beans. Well, we are going to do another budget simulation, all right? But now we're going to use dollars and cents, and we're going to make it a little more real. By the way, this is called dollars and cents, and this was developed by Michigan State University Extension and FINRA organization. They were the ones that funded it so that they could develop this game. Okay, guys. Now what we're going to do is your family is going to choose from here what it does for a living and how much it makes. Okay? So, what do we have going on here? Family one, what do you do for a living?
Security guard.
You guys are security guards. Okay, and how much you make?
17,000.
17,000. How about you?
Or dance instructors.
Cool. And how much do you make?
15,000.
15. Where's your other one? 2. I think we're short of 2, aren't we? Okay. What are you guys?
Construction worker.
And how much do you?
25,000.
25. Okay. How about you?
We're delivery drivers.
And how much?
15,000.
15. Okay, so you're the same. And how much did you make again? 15. And how much do you make? Okay. And you make 20. By the way, as I mentioned earlier, this was developed by some folks at Michigan State Extension, and these would be like starting salaries, but these are realistic for the state of Michigan. So just to let you know that, and they are starting salaries. Okay, so now what I want you to do as a family, that questionnaire, you need to start filling this out. Okay. So my name is, and you can go, you can make up a name if you'd like. You can say family 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't matter, okay? You need to put your income. You need to put your tax obligation. By the way, that other sheet you've got, the other one that says Spartan Dollar and Cents Budget, you'll notice that each one of your salaries will be on one of these pages, and it will have on there your tax obligation at the very top. So what I want you to do is fill in that top part of the lifestyle questionnaire. All right. All right, you guys, if I could have your attention. After you're done with that very basic questions on the lifestyle, you kind of probably already figured out what you need to do, right? Use a pencil. I have extra pencils up here. And what I want you to do is start making decisions about how you're going to spend your money, all right? That's why you've got your calculator. That's why you have your pencils. Part of it, the housing part, I went online yesterday to look for the city of Troy, and here are your choices for housing, okay? So you can get a second floor, 2-bedroom unit for $16.95 a month. You can get a brick ranch, it's 3 bedrooms and 1 bath, $13.50. You can get a sublet apartment. Who knows what a sublet is? Go ahead, yeah. Well, what a sublet is if someone has rented a place and then like they get transferred for 4 months or whatever, they will then lease it to you. So they're not really the original person landlord. You're renting from a renter. That's a sublet, okay? So there's this, and a lot of times that's a little cheaper, just to let you know. But a sublet apartment for a 1-bedroom is $710, and then a studio apartment. Who knows what a studio apartment is?
Fancy.
Fancy? What do you?
Just one giant room.
Perfect. It is. There's no separate bedroom. Usually kitchen, bedroom. It's just usually one big room. Of course, there's a separate bathroom, but that's a studio apartment, and that is $810 a month. Now, If you want to, you can, I bet this is what you're going to ask, you can then take this $16.95, get a roommate, and divide it by 2, and that would be your monthly living expense for your house. For the 3-bedroom, you can divide that by 3 if you'd like.
For the price for the houses, do you have to like multiply it by 12 in order to subtract it?
Nope, nope. This is per month, and this is a monthly budget. Yep, yeah. So you have choices on where you're going to live and what you're going to do. If you're really having trouble balancing, you've got a supportive family, okay? So you could move back home. Sorry, parents, but you could move back home. So you can cut, let's go with a $200 a month contribution if you live at home, okay? So instead of living on your own in one of these apartments or houses, you can move back home for $200 a month.
Let's just see if we can do it with this first, and if we can't.
Go for it. Okay, everybody, if you will, bring your attention up here. This is family or group 7, and how did you do?
Life was hard. Should I just read like our questionnaire and what we picked?
No, what, did you balance?
Yeah, we did.
You balanced? Okay. And what were some of the choices? Let me ask you this. The first time you did your budget to the revised budget.
First time we were over budget, and in the end we had to end up with spending 0 money on several things.
Okay. What are some of the things that you cut out that you kind of wanted?
Gifts, retirement, entertainment, vacation, donations, subscriptions, memberships, medical expenses, health insurance, telephone.
Okay, no medical insurance, no telephone. Oh my gosh, how are you going to communicate? I don't know. You guys, what was the biggest thing you think you learned when you were trying to put this together?
It's hard. It's just plain hard.
Okay.
It's hard to survive on just $20,000.
Okay, did you hear that? How much did you guys make? How much
We
did
made $20,000 per year.
they said it was really hard to make it on $20,000 using real numbers. When you hear someone say $20,000, don't you think that's kind of a lot of money?
Yeah.
Well, you do. I think $20,000 is a lot. But if you're trying to support yourself, yeah, maybe not so much here in Troy, Michigan, right? Thank you, guys. Anybody have anything you want to add? No? Okay. Group 6? Group 6, can you come up here, please? Oh, we could clap. Should we clap? Yay! All right, group 6. How did it go? How much did you make?
20,000.
20,000 as well? Okay. And the first time you did your budget, what did it look like?
Well, the first time we did the budget, it was $1,330 over. So we decided to move back in with the family.
With the parental units, okay.
And then we had to get rid of the car that we decided to buy before, and now we have to take public transportation,
Okay.
which is really difficult in Troy because we don't have any. But we did decide to save some because we thought that would be responsible.
We have $100 every month.
So,
100 every month. Okay.
so now we're at budget, exactly.
Ah, so you were able to balance. Good job. Okay, that was really great. So you made some good choices about where you were living and dropping back. Thank you. Group 5? Group 5, come on down. All right.
Since we're already living with our family.
Who wants to talk? This is for because you guys are getting taped. So. Just talk regularly.
Okay.
Okay, everybody up here.
We don't really get food because we have photosynthesis and yeah. So you might die, but. And then we save.
Did you balance first time around? Did you balance?
No,
Not really.
Okay, how much over were you?
like a couple $100.
Couple $100.
For our action card, we had to add like $120 since our car broke down or something.
Okay, $120 for, I think it was a muffler, wasn't it? Was it a muffler? All of a sudden had to come out of their budget.
So the second time around, we took the car out, so we didn't have to pay that.
And we
So you
found a
didn't
bike at a
fix it, you just
junkyard.
said forget it, huh?
Yeah.
We found a bike at a junkyard.
Oh, good. Awesome. How far away from work?
4 miles.
4 miles. So, I mean, that's kind of doable, isn't it? You
I
could,
mean, you could
Yeah.
walk.
okay. So were you able then to balance your budget?
Yeah.
Did you put any away for savings?
We put $30.
30. Okay, very good.
And we have $100 cash.
$100 cash? Just for emergencies?
Just for life.
Life mufflers, yeah. Thank you so much. You guys did great. Group 4, come on down. Group 4.
Wait, Hannah, did you include mom?
We have entertainment, so yeah, I guess so.
Okay, Group 4, first time around, how'd you do?
We were 1,200 over.
Okay. How much do you make a year?
15,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
really
a great,
sad.
We're delivery drivers. It's a great job if you're in high school or
College, but when you're over like 24, kind of sucks.
Okay, so how did you make up for your deficit? What did you do?
We cut back on a lot of stuff. Like, we're living with our parents, so we don't pay that much. The food we cut down because we just kind of hoard their food.
and we get food from work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
kind of a neat perk.
You know, and then, yeah, our phone, we now have a cellular phone instead of a smartphone that we want. Our gasoline, it's like $50 now. Because
We take public
yeah, we
transportation.
put, yeah, okay.
We live in Detroit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They got stuff. Our personal care, we only do like the basic stuff. We don't need haircuts once a month. Come on.
Oh, and we
Guys.
assume that our workplace gives us a car to drive around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're
'Cause it dropped-
delivery.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Our health insurance, we did $250 because I mean, like in the winter, you're gonna get a cold or like that sort of stuff. So you kind of need it. Savings, we got $44.
But yeah, we put all of the rest of the money that we had into savings and
Entertainment, and
entertainment,
retirement.
So you
So-
kind of split that all
Yeah.
up. But
And
you
we-
were still able to earmark $44 for savings. That's
Yeah.
good.
And we actually our exact total expenses is the exact same as our total net worth.
Oh, exactly. That's great. Very good. What was the biggest lesson you think?
The food, maybe the
no,
rent.
the rent.
The rent. You really didn't realize
You
how
don't
much.
have friends. You can't have friends. You can't spend money.
Which explains gifts.
No gifts.
No.
Make your gifts. Right. All right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate. Oh, this is yours. Thank you. Yay. Group 3.
Well, I mean, everything else
Okay. How much did you make?
All right, so we here. You talk. I have no idea what I'm saying.
We made 25,000. So we had a lot, but even then it was still hard. Like we only had like the bare minimum of stuff. So we had like $200 of food, and then like we had rent, utilities, clothing, personal care, and savings. That's like all we had.
So no insurance?
No.
No renter's insurance?
There's an inside joke for that. See, you know how it asked for your name on the thing we named ourselves. We named ourselves the House of Hades because we wouldn't die then.
Oh my God.
No cold, invincible.
What was the biggest thing you learned when you were trying to put together this budget?
A lot of the stuff we wanted you couldn't have
Right.
So you basically just got the bare minimum of stuff.
Well, we actually have a lot of savings.
We do have a lot of savings.
How much did you put into savings?
$323 a month.
Okay, that is a lot. Good job. Okay, 2?
Well, we have less savings, but they also started with $8,000.
Yeah,
Means they're living better.
You know, people probably think we're like dictators or something.
Yeah. 2?
I'm not a dictator.
Okay, how much did you guys make?
$15,000.
Okay, so they made 15,000. Go ahead, you guys, your attention up here, please. Go ahead.
Oh, we made $15,000. We decided to get $100 worth of food, some nice $100 rent, $50 utilities, $150 car payment. We meagerly got some $20 car maintenance, $100 car insurance, $80 gasoline. We got meager clothing once again, $50. Personal care, just the basics, $20. $50 insurance, life insurance, renter's insurance, $25. Do we even
Okay.
get health insurance?
So you guys got insurance.
We
You-
have no health insurance.
I know health insurance, but you got renters. Interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
so did you balance?
Yes.
Okay, did you have any for savings?
Yeah, we had $100 for savings,
Okay, all right.
and then we ended up with 50 cents less cash.
Okay, yay. So what was the biggest thing that you learned when you were putting together this budget?
First of all, definitely get a better job.
Okay.
Second of all, you need to make sure you're in a good living situation, or else you're not gonna have good food. You're not gonna have good living, and you need to make sure you take care of the basics before you get anything else, because everything else is like a money sucker. So we couldn't really do
You got
anything.
that right. No,
Need to
that's
bear
really
down.
good. That's pretty much it in a nutshell right there. It matters how much you make, doesn't it? It matters what kind of job you can get. If you want to support yourself to live on your own. I mean, I heard quite a few of you say, I don't want to live with my family, but that's a choice you have to make. So good job, Group 2. Very good. Yay. Group 1?
Thank you.
Right? All right, Group 1. How much did you make?
We're making $17,000 a year.
Okay.
After taxes, we make $1,000 a month.
Wow. Okay.
Our
So first time around.
First time around, we were over $1,000.
Yeah, it was like double how much we
'cause
made.
I guess we were living large, but. And then we cut down on our rent because that was the big thing.
Yeah,
So-
you want me to put that back up there for you?
Thank you.
Yeah, like we had to move back in.
No, not yet.
And then,
Not yet. So we moved in the brick ranch and split rent 3 ways, but with
Okay.
one bathroom now it's hard.
So what did that turn out to be?
$450.
you remember? $450.
Yep. And then after all that, we were still over, so we cut down the car payments. We decided we were gonna go with
public transport.
public transportation. Yeah. And then we were still over, so finally, no, we took out health insurance first. We're still over. Finally, we had to move in with our parents.
It happens.
So, and then that brought us down, and then after all that, we're $769, and
Yeah,
then
so we have-
$231 left.
Yeah, so we can put that towards savings.
So you're going to put that towards savings, investing, so that you can get that big down payment going on for
And
your
then
house.
eventually live out of my parents' house.
There you go, so you can move on. That's your goal,
Yep.
right? Good job. Very good. Thank you, guys. Oh, you get to keep all that. All right, so that was a little bit different than the bean game, wasn't it?
Personally, I like the bean game because we got stuff.
Because you got to eat the little.
And plus, it felt like we had more beans than we have money right now. So it was like.
You guys, what was the hardest aspect of that budget to live with? Yeah. Housing.
Food and clothing and just insurance.
Okay.
And taxes. I don't get why the taxes were so high. That was evil.
Look at the adults laughing. You know, it is a huge thing to consider when you're looking at jobs. Okay, it sounds great, $20,000 sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? It does. It sounds like, but when you really do the numbers, what happens? Out the door, yeah. Not really realizing that the transportation costs so much. Absolutely, because not only do you have the payment itself, but also then insurance and gas and maintenance. Wasn't there a $20 maintenance on that as well? Do you think that was realistic? The $20 maintenance a month on a car? No? How much?
I feel like it's more. I'm not sure how much, but I feel like it's more.
Okay, especially if you had a used car. Because then you got, tires every so often and, stuff breaks on it.
Well, I think it's realistic because so much you might not need. From the real world?
Okay.
This has been very interesting to me because just to let you know, I had to buy tires not too long ago. And I'm the director of the library and I have a full-time job and I make a good salary. Guess how much 4 tires cost me?
$470.
$786. So for 4 tires to get them put on and have them aligned and do all of that, I got a notice about a month ago that my house payment was going up. The good news is my house is increasing in value, but because it's increasing in value, the house payment goes up. I have to pay a little bit more taxes on it now because it's going up. So it's going to go up by about $76. So what that means is I'm going to be paying more. I'm going to be paying $76 more a month than I'm used to paying. So where's that money going to come from? I'm going to have to figure that out.
Yeah, how'd you guys feel about when I came around with those action cards? Yeah, you guys got hit hard, didn't you? You got an extra 10. Okay, you got $50 extra.
Which means that's what we did.
I thought that was really bad.
Our son. We don't have a son. It was
Okay. Do you think that those action cards is something that actually could happen during the month? That's why I say life happens. Tires happen. Maybe you might get a little bonus or something. Some of you did get bumped up a couple of dollars. All right. Well, Miss Kathy has something to talk to you about for our next session. I hope you found today useful. I think you got it. I think you got it really well. You summed it up perfectly. When you go home, thank your folks for the roof over your head, the food on the table, and the car when you want to go somewhere, right? All right, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, and Miss Kathy wants to talk to you.